The following is a paid advertisement for the Turbo Cooker and Chef Randall's Steam Frying System, brought to you by GT Merchandising and Licensing Corporation. Cooking for the family is a lot of work. It usually involves a lot of oil, so it may not be the healthiest. And you're always left with a big mess to clean up. But this is all about to change, thanks to a new, healthier, easier way to cook. Cook entire meals for 4 or more in one convenient pan. Fry, roast, and bake with little or no oil. Cook frozen foods without waiting for them to defrost. Cook dry pastas immediately without waiting for a pot of water to boil. And save money by replacing an entire cookware set with one self-contained cooking system. The innovation responsible for these great results is becoming the latest cooking sensation, the Turbo Cooker. Developed over several years, the secret behind the Turbo Cooker is Chef Randall's Steam Frying System. Imagine homemade chili with cornbread in minutes, pasta primavera with vegetables in half the time, and a complete Sunday dinner with potatoes and vegetables for 4 in half the normal time. It's not only possible, it's now available for the first time to the general public at an affordable price. The Turbo Cooker. Let's see how it can help us in the kitchen.
Ready to cook? I've got a 3-pound chicken right here with potatoes and carrots. Now the cookbook says 350 degrees. Got it? 1 hour right there. Over here, a big pot of water. It's on high heat. I'm waiting for it to boil. When it does, in goes the pasta. Next to it is the pasta sauce. That's on medium heat. Right here, the frying pan filled with oil, ready to go, because I'm going to fry some pork chops. I do have one problem. Pork chops are frozen. I know that's an issue. I also know it's going to get a little messy. You see, cooking for the family gets involved, especially when everyone likes something different. Well, now there's a new, foolproof way of cooking that's not only fast and healthy, it practically eliminates all these problems I have right here. And I don't know about you, I'm ready for it. Let's join a familiar face who always has something new to show us. Kathy Mitchell. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Joe.
Kathy, help.
I understand. You know, getting a meal on the table is a tedious, time-consuming job,
Yes.
and you got to do it every night. Well, help is here.
Good.
And it's called the Turbo Cooker. It eliminates the mess, eliminates the guesswork, and can get a meal on the table in under 15 minutes. Take a look at this. You smell that?
Yeah, it smells
Vegetables,
great.
of course, but also Italian chicken with pasta and sauce, all in the same pan in under 15 minutes.
Outstanding.
Now, what about breakfast?
That's tough.
Yeah, it's a hard one to get on the table all at one time. Well, take a look here. I've got fat-free cranberry muffins.
Wait a minute. You baked muffins?
In 10 minutes.
They're
And aren't
brown,
they beautiful?
They're moist. Oh, they are.
But that's not all, because at the same time I baked my muffins, I steam-fried my eggs at the same time in the same pan.
Okay.
Now, you were talking about picky eaters. I have a meal here that'll satisfy the pickiest family. I've got fish right there on the top, but look underneath.
Salmon.
Burgers and chicken.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Fish with the chicken and burgers. Won't the chicken and burgers smell and taste fishy?
Not a problem.
No?
But hold that thought, because I have something later that'll prove it to you.
Okay.
Now, I noticed you putting in that chicken. I have the same 3-pound chicken here that I have removed the skin. First of all, that takes away about half the calories without any sacrifice of flavor, because now I'm going to put my seasoning right on the chicken. Get it pretty well covered there. And now we're just going to put that chicken in the Turbo Cooker.
You know, I think if you cook skinless chicken on a stovetop, it'd end up tough and dry.
Well, that was before the Turbo Cooker, because remember, with the Turbo Cooker, we're going to use water. Now, I know you think of water for steaming.
Sure.
But with the Turbo Cooker, this water is also going to allow us to bake, roast, and fry. So we're just going to add it to the bottom. Now, watch all I do. Turn on the burner to high. And remember, we're cooking in layers, so I'm going to also be able to cook my stuffing at the same time. Now all we do is put on the cover, and it's ready to go.
You're roasting on a stovetop. I can't believe you're doing this.
I think we need to make you a believer. Let's start with breakfast. Now, in here, I've got some hash brown potatoes. These were frozen when I started, and they've been frying in 1/4 cup of water, not a drop of oil. And I want you to see that you don't need oil to brown potatoes. Look how beautiful those are.
Gorgeous.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
So we're just going to flip those over, and I'm just going to flatten them out a little bit, and I'm show you how to make what we call at our house a breakfast pizza. It's kind of an all-in-one breakfast, real easy way to cook. So I'm going to first add 4 beaten eggs.
This is a Kathy Mitchell special.
This is a special, that's right. You know, it gets Kathy Mitchell out of the kitchen. That's my favorite thing, because I don't like to hang around the kitchen watching eggs.
Sure.
I've got a little breakfast meat here. This is, in this case, it's a little brown and served sausage.
Okay.
You can use whatever you like. And a little bit of cheese, kind of a good breakfast omelet. All right, now we're just going to put back on the cover.
Okay.
And I'm going to lower that temperature.
Now, how am I going to know when to lower the temperature?
Ah, good question. Well, there are a whole bunch of recipe cards that come along with your turbo cooker, beautiful full-color cards. Every single one of them tells you everything you need to know about temperature and timing, so anybody can cook with a turbo cooker.
Perfect.
And I'm also going to close that valve.
A valve?
The valve is what controls how you cook in the turbo cooker. Let me give you, for instance, right here, I've been browning some ground beef. Now, when you brown meat, you do it with the valve open. That allows the steam to escape so the meats will brown.
Right.
Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do in here is make you an all-in-one casserole, a taco casserole. So to that brown ground beef, I'm going to add a little bit of taco seasoning. Now, I remember you were making some pasta over there, waiting for that water to boil. When you use a turbo cooker, we're just going to add dry pasta.
This is hard to understand, because I always boil water when I make pasta.
I know. With a turbo cooker, we're eliminating that step, so you don't have that extra pan. You don't have all the time of waiting for the water to come to the boil. And a little bit of tomatoes, just a couple of cans of tomatoes. These are not fancy recipes. These are the kind of things my family likes. Just ordinary good food. Now, we're just going to give that a little bit of a stir.
Right.
Now,
okay.
My vegetable, in this case, some frozen corn.
Multi-course.
Okay, so now we just replace the cover, close the valve, and that's going to cook in just 10 minutes. Now, got some fajitas stir-frying over here. And once again, that valve is open because that's what's allowing me to brown that meat in there. Look how beautiful and brown. I'm going to flip these over so you can see. Doesn't it smell good? Look at the brownness I'm getting. And remember, that's all done with no oil. You do not need oil to fry. I'm just going to add a little bit of seasoning.
Okay.
And again, I'm just using it from a package. Make it simple, make it easy. And some tomatoes. And we're going to give that a little bit of a stir. Now, I am going to add a little bit more water, because water is the medium that keeps it all going, and that's going to create some steam for me. So I'm just put in just a little bit of water, because I'm going to warm my tortillas right on the rack on the top. And that is absolutely the best way to warm tortillas.
And that's so hard to do normally and keep them soft.
Exactly right. And again, we're going to close that valve, and that'll be ready in about 5 minutes. Come on over here, because I'm going to take you from Mexico to the Orient.
Okay.
Started off with some chicken tenders, and I browned them in a teriyaki sauce, and these are done. So now what I'm going to do is take them out of the pan and transfer them into this little glass bowl right here.
Everything's going to be in the turbo cooker.
Everything's going to be in the turbo cooker. I told you, one pan cooking. So first we're going to add the water.
Okay.
And we're going to add our noodles. Okay. Just break them right in there. Dump the rest of those in, sure. And we'll give it a little stir. We're going to set this on high heat. So now we'll just put on the rack with our pea pods. And our chicken is done, but it's going to keep warm while the noodles cook.
So you're cooking, you're stir-frying, you're steaming, you're warming, all with the turbo cooker.
All in one pan.
This is so versatile.
Now I want to show you how to bake in the turbo cooker, and to do that I'm going to bake some very special cupcakes. I took an ordinary cake mix, but I left out the oil. Keeps it a lot healthier.
Much healthier.
And I replaced the water in the mix with Diet Cola. Gives them a nice special taste. But I'm not through yet, because I'm also going to make a topping for these cupcakes. Got a can of cherry pie filling in there. I'm going to add the rest of the can of cola to those cherries. What'll happen is that cola will release the steam I need to bake my cupcakes, and it'll cook down to a nice thick sauce, and everything will be done all at the same time. You know, this is such a great way to bake, because you can do it in the same pan that you just cooked dinner in, and you don't have to preheat the oven. It's just terrific. So let's put on the rack. We're going to lay in those cupcakes. And I remember earlier you asked me about flavor exchange.
Yes, yes.
All right, here's the deal. I've got an onion. I'm going to set it right on the rack next to those cupcakes.
I'm going to try these in a little bit, and I'll let you know.
You're going to see, I know, because tasting is believing. Set the temperature of the burner to high, and that's going to be ready to go in 10 minutes.
Now you're using gas here, and you've got electric there. Is there any difference for the turbo cooker?
Not at all. All of the recipes were tested on gas and electric cooktops. It works equally well on all of them. But you know, with you, I bet tasting is believing. Come on over here. I think it's time for you to start tasting some food. Yay! All right, now this was our breakfast pizza. Are you ready?
I remember.
Okay. Take a look at that. Now you see, it's perfectly cooked, and I want you to see